Namaskar. Apologies for the delay. Certainly my camera did not work, my mouse did not work, and I was just scrambling. Finally, I got everything worked out. We have a very special session today. Remember, 2 days ago, I talked about the shipment that was supposed to come to India, 3 Apache helicopters. India paid $600 million to get 6, and that means $100 million per Apache helicopter. These are supposed to be tanks in air, and they can take out any tank on the ground with rapid speed. Very, very powerful Apache helicopters. Is that why a country wanted to somehow put spokes in the wheel? We're talking about Turkiye. I have a small slide deck to share with you. Please do like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. Here we go. Just 1 second. Still getting used to this. Okay, so you're not getting full screen. Let's see if I can do this. In the portrait mode, I'm having a slight problem. Let me see if this fixes the problem. No, it does not fix the problem. Get back to this one. I'm sorry, this will have to be figured out later. This new portrait mode is giving me some trouble. Okay, so Apache delivery incident. What happened in November 2025, not 2024. In fact, we made the same mistake. One of the references incorrectly quoted it as 2024 in 2025. That is, this is just days ago. On October 30th, a plane leaves from the AN-124. This thing leaves, a cargo plane. It leaves Germany and goes to United States. And then a few days later, it gets loaded with 3 Indian Apache Army Apache helicopters. Then it comes all the way to United Kingdom, where it stays for 8 days, and then it goes back. So this is the timeline. Okay, February 2020, Indian Army signed $600 million to get 6 AH-64E Apache Guardian attack helicopters. It was originally anticipated to have been delivered in 2024. These are made by Boeing, by the way, but it got a delay by a year. And this was because of global supply chain issues and so on and so forth. This pushed the schedule back by a year. That was in May 2024. Then in July 2025, the first batch of 3 Apaches were successfully delivered to the Indian Army at Hindon Air Base, significantly boosting the Army aviation core capabilities. In November 2025, the second batch of 3 stops in the UK, then abruptly reverses course and returns to the US, leading to speculation of Turkish airspace denial. So this is basically where things are. Turkey said that you cannot fly over our airspace, and I think AN-124 perhaps was not sure if you took a circuitous route, if it had enough fuel. I don't know what exactly the reasons were, but this is what is being told, that Turkey said we are not going to give our airspace permission for you to fly over our land, and this stopped this thing from coming. But is this the only thing? Well, there are more deeper interpretations being done. For example, Turkey helped Pakistan in Op Sindoor. Is this also a way to try and deny India the capability to take out any tank that might come across from the from Pakistan? Is that what it is? And is this also tit for tat for India denying membership to Turkey in SCO, where they said no, they pulled the veto power and said that we are not allowing Turkey here. So a lot of things happening, 1, 2, 3, 4, one tit and one for tat. So this is one side. The other side, India has also not been keeping quiet. They have been strengthening alliances They have been supplying to arms and ammunition to Armenia, who's being attacked by Azerbaijan, or let's say there's a conflict between the two, but Azerbaijan has been supported by Turkey. So you have all these different places where they are meeting. Not only that, India recently, the Prime Minister went to Cyprus and Greece, and that 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗦, because India feels that they need to now stand up to this bullying by Turkey. And this is not the only thing. India also diplomatically snubbed the Turkish National Day celebrations in New Delhi that concluded last month. That also India does not present there. Also, regulatory action in 2025 following the Boeing downing. India revoked the security clearance for a Turkish airport services company, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, operating within India. So these are all the different things that are going, and whether this was a tit-for-tat move and Turkey said, no, we are not going to allow you to do this. The other thing that I'm hearing India is considering, just give me 1 second. My mouse is really acting up today. The other thing that I'm also hearing is India might opt to not use the Turkish airspace at all for all its commercial aviation also. For that, they need to go around Turkey. They need to go through Saudi Arabia, and then they may very well end up doing that, and that would mean loss of revenue for Turkey, that they won't get the airspace permission fees that India would have paid if India's flights had gone over the Turkish airspace. So it seems to me a little bit childish what is happening here. At the same time, what we have to see is how long will these kinds of tit for tat go on, and why is Turkey aiding and abetting Pakistan? After all, they are a democracy. They're supposed to be a responsible democracy, but I don't see that. And I mean, you can agree with me or disagree with me. This is where things stand right now. And Turkey's economy is sinking fast. They do have a fairly good business infrastructure, but the way Erdogan has been, taking out all his enemies and detractors, I mean, this is supposed to be a democracy. And I just don't know where Turkey is headed. I have a feeling disaster is just around the corner, just as a lot of things are being said about how Ukraine has lost the will to fight and how Russia is running into a lot of economic headwinds, but somehow everybody seems to be soldiering on, saying that no, everything is hunky-dory. I see only problems everywhere, including United States. Okay, so let's now take a look back and see what else can India do. I mean, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 was taken out because there were some concerns that there could have been a sabotage. And there must have been some reason beyond that, because there was this oil, there was this thing with fuselage and oil kerosene, aviation kerosene, and somewhere some checks appear to have not been carried out on that fateful plane that left Ahmedabad airport. So a lot of things where the needle of suspicion pointed towards Turkey, which led to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Aviation being taken off of India's suppliers list for managing things on the airport. So this is one up going on and on and on and on, and one doesn't know where this is going to stop. Something is going to give. Clearly now India has the bigger hand in terms of economy size and GDP. So perhaps some of these countries need to start giving India the respect that it commands. I'm not saying that it deserves. India commands respect. India can make things really, really messy for countries like Turkey. Anyway, let's wait and see. The other story that I'm hearing is that some of the terror outfits that used to be in UAE and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they've all moved base to Turkey. And I guess there is some sort of a quid pro quo in exchange. Maybe there is some money coming in. I don't know. Erdogan's family is extremely corrupt. I've talked to you about how they used to enable ISIS to sell their illegally tapped out fuel from Mosul area all the way into the Black Sea. I've done many episodes. So we really don't know what Turkey is up to. All we know is the inflation there is extremely high, and people are just soldiering by. So we'll see how it goes. I have a question here from one of you. Just let me give me a second. I'll just line it up. My mouse is really messing me up today. I don't know why. Okay, there are a couple of acknowledgements. I thought there were a question. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, there are a couple of questions. Okay. All right. Vivek, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. And first question is from Sanjay PR. 𝗏𝗏 is still functioning in Bharat. What is stopping our softest government from permanently banning all types of relations with Turkey, Azerbaijan, Hira Mandi, I don't know what, Panna Mandi, PRC syndrome? Sanjay, it's not so easy to turn things off. You are now seeing that even the United States is realizing its dependence on China for its military equipment. Most of the manufacturers are saying that they get 80 to 90% of their components from China. So you can't wish them away. But as to moving against companies like 𝗏𝗏 in Turkey, I don't see why not. You have to have somebody lined up to take over. From what I have heard is that 𝗏𝗏, the company, got out, but much of the employees got absorbed in other companies that do the same kind of services. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. Those of you who are working can update me on that. Next question from Magnet Ranga. On the one hand, US seems upset that Bharat doesn't listen to them, and on the other, they are not doing things that make it difficult for Bharat to trust them. Well, this is a touch and go situation right now. I think United States is slowly coming around to the view that perhaps India cannot be armed twisted. You saw the interview of Trump where he said that H-1Bs are needed for US. What happened? You are going to impose $100,000 per H-1B visa. And there's another story that's coming. Canada has allocated billions of dollars to allow people who are on H-1B, if they have to leave the country from United States, they can actually find some sort of an equivalent position in Canada. Although I don't know how well Canada's economy is doing, and whether jumping from frying pan to a fire is a good idea. Canada's some of the neighborhoods are extremely radicalized now. So I just leave it to the individuals. If you want to do that, you can consider doing that. I just read this thing like a couple of hours ago. So there is another way out for the H-1B people. You can consider going to Canada. And I think you work there, you become a citizen, and then getting back into US is quite easy, in and out, because of the NAFTA agreement. That's what I heard. I mean, I haven't done it myself, so I can't say this is exactly what happened. But I do know that under NAFTA, the movement of employees and services has become much easier between United States and Canada. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.